The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The time of oppression is over. They are taking the African to a new level. People sit outside of the continent and decide the kind of equipment that we use to defend ourselves. While they arm people to come and destabilize us, but because we do not have the same equipment that can defeat these people, they do whatever they want. China equips Burkina Faso with amazing equipment that can be used for generations to come. They said enough of France, enough of oppression. Africans will deserve to be free. The resources and everything in Africa belong to Africa. The imperialist game is over. The West must find another way to develop itself. African resources do not belong to these people. We once depend heavily on the West. For over 500 years that we have known these people, Africa has never known peace. These people come into the continent and they carry away. The African is even forced to come for loans that we do not even need. And when we don't do it, these people always come back with, we know the kind of punishments they give to our leaders. But that time is over. China is coming in to support us in order to be able to fight against these terrorist activities that are not giving us peace in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. We are not able to fight these people because we do not have the equipment that they give to these people to come and cause destabilization. But sometimes the most painful aspect is the same people that are hungry, blacks, are the ones that these ones always use to destabilize the same peace and the same freedom we are fighting for. Africans have always been the ones that are doing the dirty games of these people.
Shifting focus now, it's a well-known fact that China is a key partner of African nations in terms of trade and investments. But Beijing is now expanding this partnership into the defense sector as well. Now, this trend is clearly visible in the Sahel region, where Chinese weapons and artillery have been making their way. In the latest, Burkina Faso's armed forces have received a fresh consignment of Chinese-manufactured armored vehicles and artillery pieces. This, as the junta-led nation pushes to strengthen its military against terrorism. Now, the shipment reportedly includes VN-22B fire support vehicles, PLL-05 self-propelled gun mortars, and SR-5 multiple rocket launch systems, all produced by Norinco, which is China's leading defense exporter. Now, these additions form part of multi-phase modernization drive, which was announced in 2023 by the coup leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, aimed at preparing the army for intense engagements against insurgents in the arid north and the forested border regions. Footage of newly painted vehicles in desert and tropical camouflage being transported to the landlocked West African nation is now circulating widely on social media. Now, the VN-22B stands out as a wheeled fire support vehicle designed for agility and high striking power in dynamic battle conditions. Burkina Faso has not disclosed the financial terms of the deal. Now, just days earlier, Mali's armed forces also received a batch of Chinese armored vehicles. Convoys were spotted transporting the equipment from Guinea into Mali, arriving in Bamako on the 2nd of August. Chinese military equipment is now widely visible across Africa. Its armored vehicles are in service with the Ivory Coast, Gabon and Mali, Burkina Faso, while Kenya fields the mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicle. The appeal lies in competitive pricing, fast delivery and flexible financing, making China an attractive alternative to traditional Western suppliers. The reason why African nations are turning to China for arms are because they are affordable, reasonable, quality and rapidly deliverable, well suited to counterinsurgency needs. Meanwhile, they are delivered without any conditions, such as demand for reforms or human rights commitments. Now, Chinese weapons appear to be displacing traditional arms suppliers
The quiet streets of Ouagadougou were disrupted in August 2025 by the roar of engines, the grind of metal, and the sudden appearance of something rarely seen in West Africa. Brand new Chinese armored vehicles, artillery systems, and rocket launchers rolling into military bases under heavy guard. It wasn't rumor, speculation, or propaganda. Video footage verified by defense analysts quickly showed endless rows of VN-22B fire support vehicles, PLL-05 self-propelled gun mortars, and SR-5 multiple rocket launchers, all painted in desert and jungle camouflage. Soldiers stood proudly beside them, while engineers prepared the machines for deployment. For Burkina Faso, this was more than a delivery. It was the visible proof of a pivot away from the West and a leap into a new military era. The centerpiece of the shipment was the VN-22B, a six-wheeled armored platform designed to survive direct hits from armor-piercing rounds while unleashing its stabilized 30mm autocannon on fast-moving targets. Its advanced fire control system allows soldiers to lock on with precision, even while in motion, a feature that instantly transforms how Burkinabe forces can respond to ambushes on rough Sahel terrain. Watching these machines roll past must have been a surreal moment for a country that, until recently, relied heavily on pickup trucks and second-hand carriers for frontline operations. But the delivery wasn't just about armored fire support. Lined up beside the VN-22Bs were the PLL-05 120mm gun mortars, hybrid systems mounted on armored chassis that can operate as both mortars and cannons. In practice, this means that commanders can shell insurgent hideouts from a distance, then shift seamlessly to direct fire if militants close in. For soldiers long accustomed to either outdated mortars or exposed artillery crews, the PLL-05 represents a level of battlefield flexibility they have never known. Perhaps the most eye-catching of all were the SR-5 multiple rocket launch systems, each with modular pods capable of launching guided and unguided munitions out to 70 kilometers. These systems give Burkina Faso, for the first time, a credible long-range strike option. Militants who once found safety in remote bases now face the prospect of precision-guided rockets raining down from afar. The psychological impact alone, knowing that insurgent sanctuaries are no longer untouchable, could be as significant as the physical firepower. This delivery was not an isolated gesture. Prior shipments over the past year had already included Norinco CS/VP 14 mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles, CS/VN9 armored personnel carriers, and Shackman heavy logistics trucks, building the logistical backbone needed to support modern combat operations. But the August 2025 package stands out for its scale, sophistication, and visibility. Unlike earlier deliveries that slipped in with little fanfare, this one was displayed openly, even proudly, signaling to both domestic audiences and foreign observers that Burkina Faso is no longer fighting with scraps. It is rearming with state-of-the-art tools. The timing is equally significant. Western military aid has been shrinking, leaving Ouagadougou increasingly isolated. France has withdrawn, the United States has scaled down its footprint, and international promises of support have repeatedly failed to translate into weapons on the ground.
They leave us every day, and we will fight, do everything in our power just to make these people happy, which is so bad. We can't continue to be with the same people that are oppressing us. They came here for how many years now? They have never allowed us to develop. They are making life so uncomfortable, imposing their way of life on us, changing everything African, making sure that we don't even get to know who we are as a people. And this is what we all have to come together to fight against. Russia is in helping, and Russia, we know with history, they have always been there. China was once like us. China was able to fight. This is what we need. Chinese, because they are united, they are able to defeat these people. But the African is not united. Unity has been the problem of the African. And because these people are using other people, having means and ways to lure people into doing what they do, we always find ourselves being divided, making sure that we please these people. The African has still not seen the real enemy. So we are going around fighting among ourselves, restricting our brothers from entering into wherever we are. We need to be able to defeat these people with the same things that these people are using to fight us. And we need to have the know-how to be able to rise up to fight against them. Enough of the oppression. This is amazing. This is beautiful. The future of Burkina Faso is bright. A nation that people claim it is poor. Nobody saw the hope in Burkina Faso. And these our leaders are making sure that they equip us in every aspect. We need to be secured. Security is very important. How can these people sit our leaders together and make them sign a deal that Africans, we will never think of nuclear power? For what reason? And these leaders signed it. And today the African leader is sitting here thinking that when it comes to these things that people are using to defend themselves, we will not have it. Why will you all agree to something like that? How do we defend ourselves? So we have to be here for these people to do anything to us because they know that we don't have the capability to fight them. We need to break away from all these things. And we have seen that Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are signing these deals to equip us with the same thing that these people have. Yoruba people can never touch North Korea because of these equipments that North Korea has. So until we get these things, they will never allow us to be. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world. In Africa, West Africa, in Burkina Faso.